Hello, and it's
Hello.
Saturday.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of Women of Nerd Culture. We are the Women of Nerd Culture. My name's Sarah, and with me as ever is the lovely co-host Becca.
Hello.
Now, unfortunately, we've had to delay our planned K-pop Demon Hunters episode as Kelly, who was our guest, wasn't well, but we're glad to report that she is doing a lot better and ready to go for our next episode.
Yes.
So, today though, we do still have a special guest. It's Kat. Some of you
Hi.
may know Kat from the Facebook group or from our lovely Discord, which we will link down below if needs be. Hi, Kat. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Marvellous. Now, for our listeners and viewers, I do apologise if you hear me feeling a bit croaky. I am getting over a cold, but I'm going to try and carry on anyway. Now, we asked Kat to come on today and have a chat about something in particular, and it's something that she's very passionate about, and dare I say, nerdy about it. As you know, Wonk are big advocates, like you can be nerdy about anything. And to
Very
be honest,
much.
I'm looking forward to chatting about this as there is a certain stereotype about it. And I'd like to see how that's been broken over the last few years and removed. Now, hopefully, that's got a few of you thinking, what on earth is Sarah talking about? So, here we go. This episode is about pageants. But before we start, we've got one traditional question that we ask first time guests.
Oh,
Do you consider yourself nerdy, Cat, and what about?
absolutely. I am definitely a nerd. I might not be a full in-depth nerd with everything. I'm more of a surface kind of, I love some TV shows, I love some comics, movies, anything really.
What kind of TV shows do you watch?
Well, I tried pretty much nearly everything, but the one thing I don't like, and I do apologize, is horror. I just don't really like horror films.
No, you're amongst friends. I'm not a horror fan. I'm not
I
a
only
horror
I
fan.
only like zombie films. I don't do horror properly. I'm not a big horror fan. I just do zombie films.
I'm not the fan of being in the house alone afterwards.
Yeah,
I get you.
I'm one of these, as I'm sure I've said before. Once it gets dark, I close all the curtains so nothing can see
Yes.
me.
Yes. Yeah, very much.
Right now, so traditionally, pageants were seen as like a physical beauty competition. They've
Yeah.
moved forward in the 20th century to be a more inclusive event that emphasize inequalities, social causes, and personal platforms. They now incorporate judging criteria like talent, interview skills, and a contestant's commitment to a cause, while embracing diversity as well, including mothers and married women. Um, so tell us, Kat, how did you first get involved in pageantry?
I think, well, to be honest, from just being little, I was always kind of attracted to, if pageants was mentioned in movies or TV shows, obviously like the most famous pageant film is probably Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
Mm,
So a lot of people will probably know like from that style of thing. And like Toddlers and Tiaras was on TV as well when I was younger. So I think it was just sort of oh, that's a sparkly dress. I think I'd love to try that. But obviously, like I didn't think it was even in the UK. Um, and to be completely honest, I just hadn't looked for a long time growing up.
mhm.
But I just randomly, I think it was 2017, I randomly saw a one and someone was holding a pageant in Hartlepool. So I was like, do you know what? I think I'm going to go along to that and I'll give it a go.
Mm, nice. That's it. You know, oddly enough, you're saying that you didn't think that they were in the UK. I mentioned to somebody today that what we were talking about in this episode, and they went, "Oh, I didn't think we did them in the UK either." And I'm like, I didn't think that was a thing, but
I didn't until
Yeah,
I met
it's
Kat.
no.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, and obviously I was like that myself. And like even now, even some of like some friends I have, if I don't mention it, they don't know about it.
Mhm.
So it's not a common thing, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So most pageants, as we've said, have moved forward with it. What kind of things do your pageants focus on, and like what do you do?
So the way I try and just describe it in a basic way to friends or family is obviously like the stereotypes you'll see is, oh, you need to have fake tan or like big hairspray hair or
Mm.
anything like that, and obviously like be really skinny. Um, but I'm definitely not. So it's more about your natural beauty, and it's like sort of the kind of person who you are. And also, it's in the UK, it's mainly about your natural beauty and the volunteer and charity work that you do, like in the fundraising and everything. Um, so there is still a little bit of stereotypes, but
Hmm.
it's more about the community work and volunteering or fundraising with just that added extra of sometimes being on stage.
Yeah, it's a really good like focus that like so the charity side of it is a big thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's well, definitely at least in the UK, probably every pageant that I can think of that I know of is there's all like it's not mandatory, but there is options there to help you in with the volunteering or fundraising.
Yeah,
How did you
nice.
first get involved with Sapphire? Because obviously that's the platform that it is. The pageant, is it pageant hosting, or what would you call it?
So there is, we call them systems.
Okay.
So the one that I represent at the moment with my title is Royal Sapphire UK. There is other ones. Obviously, this one's just a national, but there is also ones that lead to international. So obviously like Miss World and Miss Universe is still a thing. But there's also some I'm trying to think of like Galaxy pageants. They are a big one in America as well. And we've got a lovely woman who hosts it in the UK. So you'd compete, and if you won the UK, then you would go international to compete for the one in America.
Perfect. Do you
So
have,
they're all different systems, yeah.
yeah. So do you have like a favorite category to be involved in, whether you're competing or judging? Because obviously, I know that you judge a little as well.
Yes, I do enjoy both. I do when I'm judging, I do like to see what everybody else is like on stage because you get to show your personality as well. But my to compete in, a lot of people say that their favorite is evening. So obviously the fancy gowns, whereas I think I'm a little bit of the odd one. I say that mine's the fashion wear. So quite a lot of pageants they'll do. So it's a bit more of a fun outfit.
Mhm.
And you could maybe have something like some fabric coming off your shoulder or tassels, or it's basically this outfit. It's you get to show your personality, which is why I prefer that round. It's just you can show yourself more than like obviously you can express yourself with the colour or any like sort of the style of your evening gown, but I prefer the fashion. It's a bit more fun.
Uh, do you have any favorite moments when you've been competing?
Um, for me, I'd probably say there's two. One of them is obviously it's the actually going on stage to be able to have that confidence. I never thought I would used to be able to do that. When I was younger, I couldn't even talk to anybody and I had anxiety really bad. Whereas being involved in something like this, it helps you grow with your confidence. And even if I'm not feeling the best, like it'll probably sound silly, someone listening to me saying, I don't like my appearance at all. And I'm sitting here and I've got a crown and I'm involved in beauty pageants. And that probably sounds silly, but I don't like my appearance. So having the confidence to be able to get up and do these moments, whether it's on stage or fundraising, I love that. But one of my favourite things is my mum has also been involved in pageants, and there's been a few times that we've actually won at the same time. So we've like sort of shared the year together with like
Mhm.
both having a crown.
That's brilliant. So
That's lovely, that.
every sort of title holder has a cause or a platform that they're passionate about. Would you like to tell us what yours is?
So mine is obviously, well, just to be completely honest, the past year or so, I haven't really done much with my platform because I've had a bit of a bad personal circumstance this past year and I lost my dad. So obviously, I've not really particularly done much this year. But in the past, I've always sort of been like wanted to raise awareness for invisible illnesses. I myself have some, and I've got ME and fibromyalgia, and not many people know about that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I've always sort of tried to sort of be an advocate and raise awareness about that. Um, but also the sorry, I'm just looking. I did write a little bit of
It's
Don't
okay.
wording
worry, don't
down,
worry.
a little wording for this. I
Yep.
could describe it better. So I also like to encourage self-care through interests and hobbies. So obviously, like especially people involved in pageants, we
Hmm.
do a lot of volunteering and awareness, and that can get really busy and hectic. So we always do things for other people, but I like to also promote and remember, and for the young girls as well who are growing up in the world and it can be stressful, like enjoy whatever you are interested in. And I think this comes from being a nerd myself. So my kind of things is D&D and board games, Formula One, music, like those are my kind of favorite things. But obviously it could be video games or reading or whatever you are interested in. I always like to try and remind people like have some self-care and look after yourself, have some time out with your favorite interest or hobbies.
I
Oh,
love that. Be nerdy and do whatever you want with
Yes,
that
yeah,
nerdism.
just
yes.
Let
be a
your
nerd.
nerdism shine.
If you want to be a nerd, go out and be a nerd.
Yes,
Yes. I love that.
I love it. I love it. Um, have you used your title to make an impact in your local community at all?
Yes, obviously I do support other people all around the country because one thing that it's been great about pageants is I have met a lot of young girls and women, like really strong, independent people, and they're all over the country. But in our local community, I've always I think it's always nice to help the smaller charities
Hmm.
because obviously a lot of people can support the bigger ones and the fundraising doesn't always go to where you think it goes. Sometimes
Yeah.
it goes into the adverts and marketing. Um, so I've always chose like sort of local like community or charities. So one thing we've did in the past, me and my mum, we collected Easter eggs and they went to a local charity. It's called LCAP, and they made sure that every child had an Easter egg who like sort of was involved in their area.
Yeah.
Same with selection boxes. Um, I've also in the past ran some sort of confidence sessions with some of the guides from Girl Guiding. One of the units I went in and we sort of did some games and activities, and it was to promote like so to have some self-confidence and embrace yourself. And it doesn't matter if like we all have differences, so it's important to embrace something about you and have your own personality. So I've enjoyed doing that sort of thing as well. But for my local charity that have chosen the past few years to support is for Lewis, and they
Mm.
are like a baby loss. So from miscarriage, stillbirth, or child loss, the health charity helps with local people, and they're based in Pallion in Sunderland, which is really close to me. So obviously that is a local one. And then this past year, obviously with losing my dad, me and my mum also hosted a charity event, and we raised for Macmillan, so like the Sunderland branch, and we made sure the
Yeah.
money went to our local hospital rather than just the generic website of where you would donate.
That's really good. It's amazing what you can achieve with like things like that propel you into a little bit into the public's eye, shall we say. It's oh, it's amazing. Um, so what's next for you on your pageant journey? Do you have any more in the pipeline? Are you going to rejoin it next year?
I Honestly, I am not sure. Obviously, I've not felt great this past year.
Hmm.
So obviously it was, I didn't even think I was going to win. So I competed in October and I wasn't going to do it. And then my lovely director, Lorraine, like we sat down and had a cup of tea and she was like, obviously just seeing if I was okay. And she was like, do you know what? Like your space is there. Like if you still want to do it, just come and do it. It's all
Hmm.
like your space is still there kind of thing. So obviously I just went in and thought, oh, do you know what? I'm not going to win, but it's fine. I'll just spend the day with everybody because everybody's so
Hmm.
supportive and lovely.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously I was told Becca this. I was really surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't expect it.
So proud.
Um, Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously there's other systems around as well. Like there's another one that's based more sort of Warrington, Wigan way on, that I've looked at in the past.
Hmm.
But I'm a little bit sort of limited because from which ones I can enter. Basically that's just due to my health. Obviously I can't do internationals. There's no way I would manage the international
Yeah.
competition. And I do struggle obviously like with like doing things in like more than a few hours in one go.
Hmm.
So I've got to take that into consideration. So it's nothing against some of them. I just have to sort of take them off my list, kind of thing. So th
Hmm.
there is quite a few systems I could inquire about, sort of going to be involved with.
Hmm.
But at the moment, I'm not sure. I don't know. I might have to have a new hobby or something fill the time. Or I don't know if you've heard about these people, but Nerdy Up North have podcasts. I could listen to those. They seem all right.
Yeah, you could.
I could just fill my time doing that.
You could. You would have enough content to to get you through the winter,
So
and
much content.
at least. But yes, thinking about your future, but going slightly back to the past, and how would someone new get into pageants and get involved? You got any tips or hints for them?
Well, I'd probably say if you do see a charity pageant in your area that you would want to be involved with, I would just say go for it. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know all the ins and outs. You can just sort of rock up and obviously just give it a go. You might obviously, I think even now, there's quite a lot of us who've been doing it for years and we still get nervous before we go on stage. So I think obviously it's because you want to enjoy it and do well. But I wouldn't let you put that off. Like don't let put you off for going on stage or anything.
Hmm.
Obviously, in plus as well, you're not marked on what you look like. I know that's such a stereotype thing of like, oh, well, I've seen awful comments on newspaper articles and stuff, like for some friends who we know down the country, and they're commenting on their weight still, and like people, and it's not nice. So
No.
obviously, I know there's that side of it. There's still stereotypes, but just give it a go. Like charity pageants, obviously you're not committed like I am. So obviously this is like a contracted I'm a queen for a year. So I competed in October. And so next October when they have the competition again, I'll do a handover. Which means basically I'll still get to go on and do the fun rounds and everything, but obviously I wouldn't be getting judged. It's just a kind of like a final walk
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
um, while the others like finalists compete. So it's not like you have to do something for a year. You can just go to charity pageants. And there is quite a few around the northeast. But to be honest, I myself found it really, it was just random on Facebook that I found it like in 2017. So
Yeah.
if I didn't find that one and I didn't go, obviously when I was there, me and my mum were talking to other people in the audience and obviously then they were like, oh, well, this so-and-so does this one and that one's at Durham and this one's at Spennymoor. And then we found obviously a lot of connections
Yeah.
through just going to one. Um, but it's finding that one.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
finding the initial, how do I get involved with it?
Yeah.
Are there any socials to follow for Sapphire where interested people could find information at all?
Yes, I had Royal Sapphire UK does have a Facebook page, um, and there is groups online on Facebook. I'm trying to think of, I think it's one of them's called Pageant Calendar and Events or something like that, and
Okay.
it's a group you would join. So there is different things out there if you know about them. So I mean, I'll have a think and I can give you some links if you
Definitely.
want
We'll put
it.
them in the links below,
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
put them
Yeah.
in below.
Uh-huh.
But
But yeah, there is Facebook pages out there. You just need to know the names.
yes, well, we can find them. We can find them, and between us all, and we can get them on our show
I'm
notes
sure
below.
if I'm sure if you put like local pageants near me into Google, you'll find something.
Yeah.
If it doesn't show up.
That's right. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about pageants at all?
Um, hmm. I could just talk and talk, to be
Well,
honest. I
talk.
think it's
Tell us some more moments that have been memorable to you.
Well, obviously, like I've said, my mum also does it. So one of the
Hmm.
most memorable things for me is we've now both won a title a couple of times throughout our years of doing it. So we've been queens together because the way pageants work is there is obviously like different age categories to make it fair. So there wouldn't be an 11-year-old up against a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's different age categories. So currently, well, I turned 30 in September, so I aged up. So so I'm now sort of like the Ms. or Queen categories.
Hmm.
But the yeah, there's from like basically all ages. So I think that's another like common misconception that it is just for young girls, maybe in their 20s. There's obviously like there's preteen and there's a couple of girls that I know. I probably met Karis when she was about 3 or 4, and she's now 11, and she was just recently competed in Miss Teen Great Britain. So obviously the watching the young girls as well, I think that's really great, like to grow up and watch their confidence. And
Hmm.
obviously you do get skills from pageants, and obviously most pageants for the older ones, it's usually for the over 18s. You do sometimes have an interview. Sometimes the teen category does as well. It just depends on what the organisers have decided.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just obviously so that's also preparing everybody for the real world as well to be able to talk, or even just this. I would never have thought of being on a podcast or anything, or I would have ran away and hid in a cupboard or something. Do you know what I mean? So obviously the you do get some like life skills from things as well as obviously enjoying being all dressed up in a fancy dress on stage.
And you do look absolutely lovely when you are on that stage. I've seen some of the photos and I'm so ridiculously proud of you because I know how difficult this year has been. And the fact that you've won that, I was just like
Oh, thank
so
you.
excited for you.
Yeah,
Have
it really is sort of I don't even know what words to use to describe it. It's such like a love and supportive community, which I think is another stereotype. People will think, oh well, they're just all going to be talking about
Yeah.
each other behind each other's backs, and like 99% of the time, that's not the case. Obviously, you put more than 2 or 3 people in a room, not everybody's going to get on. So
Hmm.
yeah,
obviously,
Hmm.
there might be some disagreements, like, but it's like that in everywhere, even workplaces and
Yeah, yeah.
everywhere, isn't it?
so yeah,
But everyone is so supportive.
It's really good to see that like it's moving forward, and all the stereotypes are basically just being broken down and removed now. Um, and of course, congratulations on your win. I never actually got to say that there.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want to show your crown?
Yes, I will try
Let's show the crown off.
if the
Look at
camera
that with the
works.
sapphires in it
beautiful.
as well. Wow.
Obviously, I've got the headphones on, so I can't really do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, this one's very sparkly. Um, the obviously they're all different sort of designs on the crowns
Hmm.
for each system as well as the sashes. So my one I've got currently for Royal Sapphire UK is yellow and blue. Um, when I competed in Spain in when was it? 2019, I think it was. Yeah, I had a sash and it's blue and white. So when I got Miss UK for Belle, that
Hmm.
one obviously, so each system does have their like own colours and style of crowns,
Yeah.
um, which is great because you can have a nice little collection as well if you keep on going
Yeah.
and
Well,
you're
as
involved.
we are nerds and we do like to collect stuff, so it kind of works.
Yes, I do
Yeah.
like go. I've always been a bit of a magpie attracted to sparkly things, which you never would have thought if you knew me at school because I was such a
Mm.
tomboy.
I mean, I was as well. I'm not big on like I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but I love a sparkly thing. I'll get distracted and I will wander off and go and look at
Yeah.
it.
I think that's
Yes.
one of the things that drew me to pageants in TV shows and films when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was obviously like, oh, that's sparkly. Oh, I want one of them. And obviously, like when you're little, you do want to just feel like a princess, don't you? And feel good
Hmm.
enough and feel pretty. So obviously, I think that does attract a lot of the younger ones, being able to do that alongside
Hmm.
the community work.
Have
But
I?
what I love about them is I've seen them. I've seen a couple of like talent sides, what do you call it? When you display your talent in some of them. I've seen these cute little girls come on and they've been wearing lovely sparkly dresses, but then they'll come on and they'll give you like a karate display or something like that. And I absolutely
Yeah.
love that it's showing all aspects of it.
Yes, absolutely. There's so
Hmm.
many it's like such empowering different things that women can
Hmm.
do. Like I've seen someone do a bit of self-defense before.
Hmm.
There's actually a girl, well, I should say a woman. She's a woman now. She's from Newcastle and she's one of the most successful in the UK, and obviously she's from our area. And
Hmm.
she recently was in a big pageant. It was called Miss Grand, and so Harriet went to I think it was somewhere Thailand we on. So obviously the some of the bigger pageants, when you would say like maybe it's top 5 kind of thing in the world, like
Yeah.
Miss Universe, Miss World. Obviously I can't comment personally on that kind of experience because unfortunately I can't do it. But the like watching them and the such good time that they're having. Obviously you've worked really hard as a finalist all year, and then
Hmm.
you get to go in. I think she was there for a few weeks, so it wasn't just like a
Wow.
1 day thing. So some of the bigger ones, it can last like a week or two, like depending
Yeah.
on. One of the things she got to do was to see some of the culture around
Hmm.
the country. Um, and so it is really good. Obviously, I mean, don't quote us on this, but I think obviously there is still some sort of like Miss World or that kind of thing. I'm not sure if they have height requirements anymore or anything like that, but I doubt that a lot of them do because it was just actually recently, obviously, like you've said, mothers and married women can now take
Hmm.
part in Miss Universe, and that was only changed in 2023. So it's
That
such a
recent. Wow.
Yes, it's such a recent thing. So obviously, unfortunately, for a long time, quite of the older, more like dominant pageants like Miss Universe and Miss World, obviously they did have some requirements for quite a lot of
Hmm.
time that was based on your appearance.
Yeah.
Obviously they still did the charity work and everything, and that was great. But obviously now they are starting to more open up and try to change those stereotypes. And so obviously it is really good that Miss Universe tried to sort of pave the way and be like, no,
Yeah.
mothers can compete.
Yeah.
So there's a pageant. It's down south somewhere. I'm sorry, I don't know which one it is. Um, but the like Miss Galaxy, UK's national Miss,
Hmm.
and there's a one called Pageant Girl. So there's a few different ones, and obviously whether they go international or just national, a lot of them do now state, well, so just to make sure you're definitely sure you can enter is yes, you can be a mother, yes, you can be married. Obviously, there's different age groups. Quite a lot of them start from like the bigger ones from about age 10
Hmm.
upwards. Obviously there is some for younger as well if needed, but it's mainly sort of the from age 10 up, I think.
Yeah, and do you know so I think this podcast is actually such good timing, and the fact that you've mentioned Miss Universe, with I don't know if you obviously you watch the news and stuff. Have you seen what actually happened at the Miss Universe pre ceremony?
Yeah, so obviously there's been a bit of controversy within Miss Universe, and so it was being hosted. Obviously I don't know all the details and all the facts.
Yeah,
There has been a bit of arguments between the organisers.
yeah,
So Miss Universe was hosted by a different director of, I think it was Miss Grand, like in their country. So I think they've butted heads a little bit, and in a very public way,
yes.
unfortunately.
The Miss
So
Universe Thailand director basically told off Miss Mexican, or he publicly
shamed.
he
Yeah.
berated her and shamed her, and she left the room, and then loads of other contestants left the room, and it was, and
Wow.
do you know something? They were all girls, and I've got so much respect for them.
Yes, I have. For especially the first one that stood up, because obviously the from the side of being a contestant, obviously I know how much it goes into actually entering and the work you're doing
Hmm.
on the lead up. It can be very expensive as well, depending on which ones you enter. Some entry fees for the pageants are really, really expensive. So for the fact that the girls who actually first stood up,
Yeah,
that first girl, I really would applaud her because
Yeah.
she was risking her entry
yeah,
basically. They could have turned around and said, okay, fine, no, none of yous are entering anymore. Um, so obviously it's just the fact that some people actually did walk out with that.
yeah,
That is amazing.
yeah.
Unfortunately, not everybody did,
No,
but I can understand the other
yeah,
side of it of
yeah,
not wanting to
Yeah.
risk
Yeah.
yeah,
their country's
yeah.
name.
But
Hmm.
I think it's brought the good and the bad to the public domain. But I thought this was serendipitous that
Yeah,
this episode was happening. About a
mhm.
week after that had happened, and I
I hadn't actually heard
I
that.
wanted to.
That's
Yeah, I saw it on the news. Well, it must have been. It happened on what, the 6th of November, and obviously
Yes,
we're filming on the 13th, so it's just a week ago. And I was like,
hmm.
I wanted to ask your opinion on it, on what you thought. So
yeah. It's obviously I do. it would be really hard to have the courage to stand up and walk
Hmm.
out.
Hmm.
I've grown up, I was always the person I would just kind of like be shied in the background, that kind of thing. I wouldn't ever be vocal about things.
Yeah.
So to go, obviously, to be the person I am now through all of the experiences and pageants I've had, it's just sort of, I think, yeah, I probably would have stood up as well. When
Yeah.
I was younger, I might not have,
Hmm. Hmm.
but just it's the these days, I just wish that obviously there wasn't so much negative alongside the positive, because that's a positive thing that the girls walked out with that, but it's
Yeah.
a negative thing that
Yeah.
started it.
Yeah.
It's people still focus on the negative things. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I think it was last year at some point, a girl from a different system, there'd been a newspaper article, obviously congratulating her. She was a local girl to that community. There was an article congratulating, saying, well done for everything, and you've won this title, and you're heading off internationals to compete. But in the comments, it was all like about her weight, about the way she looked. Oh, well, she must think she's better than everybody else. And it's definitely not like that.
Yeah.
So it's just it's still trying to combat that and get
Yeah.
people involved and
Yeah.
obviously support of the pageants while there's still a little bit of the stereotypes going
Yeah.
on.
Unfortunately, I think it's really been like the thing where since people can hide behind the keyboard so easily these days that it's
Absolutely, yeah.
just gonna it's
People
gonna
don't
be a
realize how much
constant.
it hurts.
No,
Yeah.
no.
That's
Yes.
one of the reasons why I've never really allowed newspaper articles about me.
Hmm.
Obviously I have won a few titles now, and I've never wanted anything really online. I got bullied really badly when I was at school, and
Hmm.
obviously that still affects me now. I don't like the way I look or anything like that. I never feel like I
No.
fit in still. And so I just didn't want to have those kind of comments coming up and be, oh, who does she think she is? Do you know what I mean? Or anything like
Yeah.
that. So it's yeah.
Well, I'm really proud that you decided that we were
Mm.
okay to come on and talk about this because rule number one of Women of Nerd Culture is don't be a dick. So if anyone thinks they can put anything in the comments, you will have me and you will have Sarah, and we don't stand for it.
Well, yeah, thank you.
We don't stand for it.
Um,
They will get as good as they get, and we will just shame them.
Yeah.
Publicly shame
yeah.
them.
Well, I knew that yous would be a safe space.
Yes.
Obviously, you're also supportive and amazing women. So obviously, I was very
Mm.
honoured to be able to be invited on, to be honest.
Oh no.
Um,
But we do have a bit of a tradition that
Yes.
doesn't. For anyone who comes on, we do questions, but we let the dices decide. And I know as a D
Yeah.
and D person, because this is how me and Kat met. We met through D&D. You would love this. So Sarah has the dices. I ask the
I've got the dice.
questions, and you get to pick
Right.
the dices.
We've got
guys,
some. Yeah, the tradition is the first time guests, we roll some D8s. Now I've got a few to choose from, and we've got a set of 8 questions. Whatever number we roll, we give you that question. So let's have a look. I have a glow in the dark. Oh, hang on, it'd be easier if I had to put my hand up, wasn't it? I've got a glow in the dark D8 there. I've got a clear sparkle D8. Got a nice purple one. Up, there we go. I have a nice blue sparkle one. Got a black sparkle. A pink sparkle.
A lot of sparkles.
I've got the sparkles out this week.
Yeah,
good.
we thought Kat
And
deserved
then
them.
yeah, but we're going away from that now. This is a bit more me. I've got a one that is clear and blue, but it's got an axe inside of it.
That's my favourite.
And then I've
That's
got a big old green one.
So which
cool.
dice would you like?
So which one would you like first?
Mm. I think I will go, because it's my mum's favourite colour, we'll go purple first.
The purple one. Okay. That's number 7.
Oh, okay. Who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
Anybody from the world of celebrity,
Yeah.
the world of TV, characters, books, real life people, whatever.
Well, because we're on a bit of a nerdy podcast, I'll go for a character. One of my all-time favorite TV shows growing up was Charmed, and I still
Mm.
I've just went through watching it again. Um, so I think Piper. Piper has really
Piper.
inspired. She was my well, I liked Prue as well, but Piper was my favorite character. She was such loving and caring, but she could be strong when it was needed, and
Mhm.
I really admired that, and I wanted to be like Piper
She
when I
went
grew
on
up.
such a journey from being the middle
She
child
did,
to being the
to the
adult,
eldest.
the eldest, and
Yeah,
oh, that's
yeah,
such a good choice.
yeah. So I think I'd probably go with Piper.
That's a
Oh, I
good
love
choice.
that.
That's a good choice, yeah. Do you want to choose a different dice?
Um, let's go for the axe.
The axe. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That is a 5.
Oh, which fictional character do you relate the most to?
My last answer? No,
I
I will
mean,
choose
it
something
could
else.
be the same character,
We
yeah.
don't judge.
Excuse
No,
me.
I'll choose someone else. I'll choose someone else. Fictional character, who do I relate to? Oh, my brain's gone blank. There's so many different things that I watch. Do you know what? Let's go Gilmore Girls. Um, when I was younger, I did relate more to Rory. Now I can see the adult side of things. So I think no, I'll go with Rory from Gilmore
You are
Girls.
gonna
She's
go.
young. She didn't really know what she was doing. She wasn't really sort of exposed to a lot of things in the world when she was younger. Which I do kind of relate to myself with, obviously I was diagnosed with my health condition when I was a teenager. So obviously like I did stay home a lot and I didn't do the
Mhm.
usual teenage growing up, going out kind of things. So I guess
Getting
I'd
drunk in the
probably
park.
yeah, I went to a couple of different things, but not many growing up. So I
Mhm.
think I'd probably I was more the stay home, watch things or read, that kind of thing. So I'd probably go with her.
Yeah, good choice. Another good choice. Um, what's your next choice of dice?
Um, let's go blue sparkles.
Blue sparkle. Number 8.
Oh, do you have any guilty pleasures in music?
Guilty pleasures in music. Well, I suppose it depends on what your main genre is that you like first, isn't it?
Mm.
I love music, pretty much nearly everything that's not screaming and not like boom, boom, boom. I'm not really into the house kind of stuff. But I'd probably say some of the girls from Little Mix. I really love some of Jade and Perry's songs. Yeah, I'm vibing to those at the moment.
They are very good,
Yeah,
won't
Yeah.
lie.
can't say I've heard much by them, but
No,
I know who
You,
Little Mix are at least.
Yeah, usually growing up, I was like sort of just to give you some context, like either Fall Out Boy or My Chemical Romance. Obviously, that's
Yeah,
my kind of
yeah.
music, so it is a bit of a switch to some of the girls from Little Mix.
should we have one more?
We'll have one more.
Let's go for the big green one.
Big
The
green
big
one.
green one. Will we get our question that comes out every time?
I know.
Number 2. I think we've missed it.
Oh, we have. This is the first podcast where it's not been asked.
Is that
What?
good or bad?
It's okay. What is a
It's
food
fine.
item you cannot live without?
Ooh, I do like food. I eat too much.
Relatable.
Um,
Food. We all love food.
that I can't live without.
If you had your choice of anything you could eat right now, what would you choose? Anything in the world.
A dish from the Thai restaurant that is local to me.
Mm.
I would probably go um either chicken or beef in oyster sauce, and obviously it comes with different vegetables in the sauce and some
Mm.
rice. Um, and well, as a starter first, I'd probably get some dim sum, some pork dumplings, because I love those. But yeah, I
Had a
think
go.
if I could have anything right now, it'd probably be that.
Yeah, yeah.
Making me
Sounds
hungry.
great, actually, yeah.
Oh.
I might have some dumplings in the freezer. I might have to go and get some after
Ooh.
this.
Yeah, I'm hungry now.
Dinner at Sarah's house.
Excellent. Yes, good, great answers there. Yeah.
Very much.
So, right. I think that I think that we're coming round to conclude that now, aren't we?
Yes.
Have you got anything that you'd like to promote before we go, Catherine?
Um, call us whatever you want. Anything I would like to promote? I think I'd probably just say, even if you don't think you would fit in, if you have the opportunity to try pageants, go for it. Obviously, it's not like what you would think. Everybody is so supportive and
Mhm,
caring, and obviously, you do have. If you were going to be a finalist in something, obviously, there can be charity work. You might not want to do that. You might just want to rock up and try that on stage, but just have the confidence and believe in yourself. And just go for it. Like, everybody can do it. My mum she's turning 60 at the end of November, and she has got the classic crown for Royal Sapphire at the moment as well. So Queen's in the same year, which is great. But obviously, it just shows that regardless of your age, regardless of how you feel like you look like in comparison to the old stereotypes, just
mhm.
absolutely, I always recommend everybody to give it a go. Well, obviously, especially my Royal Sapphire, I should probably promote them a little bit. Um, but yeah, they're lovely as well. It's like there's such like a family feel, and they're
Mhm.
so welcoming, even past queens. So when I competed in October, even some of the past queens from a few years ago, they all always come back every year, and they always support, and it's such a great sort of
Mm,
community, family community.
That's nice.
excellent,
We like
excellent.
that vibe.
Yes, we do, we do.
Yeah.
So massive thank you, Kat, for coming on and talking to us. This has been really interesting.
No, thank
Um,
you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've learned a lot about pageants that I didn't know before, and yeah. Um, right. Next up for Women of Nerd Culture will obviously be our delayed K-pop Demon Hunters episode. So excited for that one. There will be singing. I can guarantee it, especially with
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Uh, As ever, Nerdy Up North, we have Monster Mondays, Top Gun Tuesdays, there's Rumblecast Wednesdays, Anime Club Fridays, us, or Countdown to Doomsday on Saturday, and the main pod on Sunday. This week, I'm on it. So
Woohoo.
tomorrow, I'm on with Chris from Anime Club, and we're going to be talking about John Candy movies. Um, However, Becca has also been doing a new project with Jake,
Oh yeah.
which I don't think we've actually mentioned on our podcast.
No, we haven't,
Um,
but that will be out on
once
Thursday.
more with Morphin, which comes out on the Thursday.
Yes.
Um, and they've been discussing and reviewing episodes of the Power Rangers.
We have, and it's so fun because me and Jake have got the same vibe on these episodes, and it's just so funny. We just get to have a little geek out, and we're watching like 4 episodes at a time or arcs, and we're just talking about it, and we're just gonna keep going until we get bored. But it's fun because I've had my dragon dagger arrive, so
Oh,
and it's here before the Green Ranger
mhm.
parts. So this is gonna be fun because for those episodes, I'm gonna actually have a dragon dagger.
Wow.
I
I
don't
hope
know
you
what's
get it out.
I don't know what's going to happen. There's probably going to be a lot of sound effects from it. Um, sorry, Jake.
Make sure you catch that on Thursday then to find out what actually happens. Um, awesome. But yes, Nerdy Up North really does have something for all your nerdy needs. And with that, another massive thank you to Kat.
Thank you.
And it's time to sign off.
Keep your hearts full and your fandoms fierce, and we will catch you on the flip side. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.